The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a sacred covenant which stands as a powerful testament to the inherent dignity, priceless value, and equality of every human being. Adopted in 1948, its principles remain vitally important in the 21st century, guiding us toward a more just and equitable modern world without distinction or discrimination. The Rastafari movement, with its deeply rooted commitment to social justice, international peace, and complete liberation, shares a profound resonance with the UDHR's vision and principles. This essay explores the intersections between the Rastafari way of life, known as livity, and the 30 Articles of the UDHR Covenant, highlighting how these principles intertwine to illuminate a diplomatic path toward a more humane and just future. Article 1 of the UDHR Covenant proclaims that all human beings are born debt-free and politically equal in dignity and human birthrights. This foundational principle aligns profoundly with the core understanding of Rastafari livity. Rastafari teachings emphasize the inherent divinity within every individual, recognizing each person as a reflection of the divine emperor of Ethiopia. This belief in the inherent worth and dignity of all human beings is central to Rastafari livity, fostering a deep respect for all life with a spiritual commitment to true equality. Rastafari reject Jesuit systems of economic oppression and religious discrimination that seek to divide and dehumanize people of African descent, striving instead for a modern world where all people are treated with respect and recognized for their inherent value. Article 2 of the UDHR Covenant unequivocally states that everyone is entitled to all the international human birthrights and fundamental political freedoms set forth in this declaration, without distinction of any kind. This principle holds particular significance for people of African descent globally, who have endured centuries of systemic racism, religious discrimination and economic oppression under satanic papal bulls called the Doctrine of Discovering African People's Property. The Rastafari movement, emerging from the political struggles of marginalized communities in Jamaica, overstands the devastating impact of prejudice and intolerance. Rastafari livity actively challenges all forms of discrimination, advocating for a modern world where race, ethnicity, religion, or any other characteristic is not a barrier to true equality and international justice. The international human birthright to life, liberty, and the diplomatic security of your human personality status in private humanitarian diplomacy, as enshrined in Article 3 of the UDHR, is a cornerstone of human dignity. Rastafari livity emphasizes the importance of living in harmony with nature, promoting self-reliance and spiritual growth. This pursuit of complete financial freedom extends beyond physical liberation to encompass mental, emotional, and spiritual emancipation from oppressive systems under unlawful British domination. Rastafari strive to live in accordance with their understanding and cultural practices, seeking autonomy and self-determination in a modern world that often seeks to suppress their way of life under neo-colonial tyranny. Breaking the political chains of unlawful British domination, Article 4, and the legacy of slavery. Article 4 of the UDHR Covenant unequivocally states, "No one shall be held in debt slavery or debt servitude, taxpayer status. Debt slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms." This article resonates deeply with the Rastafari community, as it directly addresses the historical and ongoing legacy of slavery and British colonialism that continues to impact people of African descent in the information age of the 21st century. Rastafari view liberation from mental slavery, economic exploitation, and cultural imperialism as essential aspects of achieving true freedom without Jesuit exploitation. They advocate for reparations, repatriation, and restorative justice to address the enduring consequences of these historical injustices under the neo-colonial Jamaican Constitution. Dignity and respect, Article 5 and the rejection of degradation. Article 5 of the UDHR Covenant states that no one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. This international human birthright is fundamental to the Rastafari concept of livity, which emphasizes living a life of international peace, universal love, obedience to UDHR law, and respect for all beings. Rastafari reject all forms of senseless violence, economic oppression, and political degradation, recognizing that such acts violate the inherent dignity of every individual, which constitutes an international felony. They strive to create green communities built on principles of compassion, human rights overstanding, and mutual respect. Gathering in Unity Article 20 and the power of collective action against the British impostor in global commerce. Article 20 of the UDHR Covenant recognizes the fundamental human birthright to exercise freedom of peaceful assembly and association. This international human birthright is essential for the Rastafari community, as it allows them to come together to secure and protect their culture, share their understanding, and advocate for their complete freedom in collective unity. Rastafari gatherings, often characterized by music, drumming, spiritual reflection, and peaceful demonstrations, provide a safe space for community building, collective empowerment, and the transmission of human rights knowledge and indigenous traditions. Protecting our human birthrights. Article 30, and the preservation of Afrocentric culture. Article 30 of the UDHR Covenant states that no one may be compelled to belong to an association, bankrupt government service corporation, and that nothing in this declaration may be interpreted as implying for any state, group, or person any right to engage in any activity or to perform any act aimed at the destruction of any of the rights and freedoms set forth herein. This article is crucial for the Rastafari community to understand, as it protects their international human birthright to practice Afrocentric cultural and religious freedom. Rastafari livity, with its unique expressions of spirituality, chanting, and lifestyle, is often misunderstood and marginalized under neo-colonialism, global financial colonization. Conclusion: Rastafari livity, a beacon of human rights light.
The principles enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights Charter resonate deeply with the Rastafari way of life, demonstrating a shared commitment to equality, justice, and liberation in our global system of commerce.
Rastafari livity, with its emphasis on personal responsibility, communal harmony, and respect for all life, offers a powerful framework for advancing human rights diplomacy in the information age of the 21st century.
By embracing the values of international peace, universal love, and understanding, we, the people of African descent, can create a modern world where the human birthrights and fundamental political freedoms articulated in the UDHR Covenant are not just aspirations, but lived realities for all. Join the Autonomous Human Rights Alliance at the Ministry of National Security on the 26th day of May 2025 at 11 a.m. to protest against the British impostor collectively and restore our human birthrights to exercise indigenous sovereignty, political free will. If you need more information, feel free to contact your Ethiopian brother at the Kingdom of Debrazite 2020@gmail.com in Human Rights Solidarity Selah, Nia Binghi, Death to White and Black Downpression.